Have you ever logged out of your favorite gacha game and felt relieved that you were finally done for the day? You cleared your dailies, you spent your stamina, and you did everything the game told you to do, but instead of thinking, oh, that was fun, you thought to yourself, finally, I'm done. And when logging out of a video game starts feeling like you're clocking out of work, something most likely has gone wrong. And I don't think any one of us started playing these games just to only have this feeling of constantly having to maintain an account. We started playing because we were supposed to have fun. So how about we talk about how we stopped the daily routine from slowly taking over and turning the whole game into the second job instead of the game we love to play. Now, most gacha content is about what character to pull, what team to use, or how much damage they do. Or whatever new drama the community has managed to create this week. Even my own echo guides. That stuff has its place. But I think we also need to spend more time talking about the smaller things in these games, things that can slowly change how they feel to play. The thing is that these games are great. We're all here playing them and watching content about them because of that. But even then, sometimes we can open the game, sit there in the launcher and think, no, not today, I just don't have the energy for it. And that is where it gets kind of confusing, because the game just didn't suddenly become bad. It feels more like our mind has started treating the whole game like it's account maintenance only. And that is what this video and the whole series is going to be about. Basically the small gacha problems that a lot of us recognize, but don't always know how to put into words. And the point is not to look at the game and say, oh wow, the game suddenly became boring. It's more about asking ourselves, what is happening here? Why is it affecting us? And most importantly, how do we fix it? So the first problem, we're going to use something that we call the Logout Test. It's not going to be a magical fix for the entire game, because we're not trying to start a gacha fortune cookie cult, where everything is blissful and amazing and no one can say otherwise. Some of these systems are annoying and they deliberately keep us coming back, we know that. The test is just a simple way to catch us in the moment where we stop thinking about these games as the entertainment they are and start feeling like we just need to clear them. But first, we need to separate two things that can look almost identical from the outside. The difference between playing the game and maintaining the account. The words look pretty simple on paper, playing the game and maintaining the account. The real difference is why we're doing it, and how that starts making the game feel for us over time. When I think about the time I was having fun in these games, it's usually not from doing dailies and emptying my stamina. And I don't think many people would point at the game and say, oh yeah, you know, that was such a great time that morning when I cleared my dailies. The fun part is usually something that you choose to do yourself. And most of us can probably remember a time like that. It could be the cursed but still cool launch when we ran around the world. It was all bugged, but we were having fun. A lot of us kept playing because of the potential it had, and I even made a whole video about that. Or it can be when we played through stories like Cardithea, Frolova or Ameth, or we just opened the game without a clear goal because we just wanted to play in this world. For me, it's probably when I'm trying to clear a hologram boss and then getting pissed off because the dodge button clearly did not register, and obviously the problem is not me being garbage, but the feeling of clearing it was amazing. That's the version of the game that we're trying to protect, and that can easily get pushed aside by ourselves just locking into the daily stuff and the daily routine. And when maintaining the account starts taking over the time we would normally spend playing, in our minds it still looks like we're playing. Because you're in the game, you're doing things with the characters you collected, but mentally it can be completely different. Because our mind is not really asking, what do I want to do in the game today? It is asking, what do I need to do before I can log out today? That is the line that we need to make visible. Instead of just feeling that something is off with the game. And just to be clear, daily routines is not useless. For a lot of us, the routines is a good thing. But maintaining the account is when most of the gaming sessions comes from a list the game gave us. And actually playing the game is when at least one part of the session came from something that we chose ourselves, usually outside of the list. The routine is not the problem, it is when the checklists repeat every day until our mind starts treating the list like the whole game itself. But once we can see the difference, we get another question. How do we make the routine help the fun that we're going to have later, instead of letting it replace the fun completely. Now, the routine is not automatically the enemy here. Stamina and daily limits can be annoying. They are partly there because of how these games are monetized, but they also give us something useful, which is pacing. They give our session some structure and, more importantly, a clear stopping point. And a good comparison would be MMO games, which I used to play. In games like that, you can grind forever because the game lets you. There is no real stopping point, but you suddenly realize that the sun is on its way up, and who needs a good sleep anyway, am I right? That seems like a very smart and completely normal way to play. But that is actually one useful thing about gacha games. Sometimes the game basically tells you, yeah, you're done for today and you can come back tomorrow, bro, don't worry. And honestly, I think we underrate that a lot. The hard parts in gaming is not always to find something to do, it's deciding when it's enough for today. And for me, that really helps. Because when these games make decisions for me, I don't only treat that as an issue, I treat it as a help. But the problem is when that ending becomes the entire game, one simple way to stop that is to add one small thing that we chose ourselves. Not as another task we have to finish before we're allowed to log out. That would just create a new checklist to protect us from the old checklist, which sounds extremely intelligent and not insane at all. This just has to be something that we wanted to do, whenever we have time for it. For example, I still want to go back to get some achievements from Renacita. There's no really important reason why, I just want to do it. For someone else, they might be exploring part of the map they haven't finished yet, maybe picking flowers or cooking food, or doing something completely pointless that they enjoy to do, like parkouring around a pole in the middle of the city. And for the explorers out there, if the map feels overwhelming, you don't have to become Blinky from Hunter x Hunter and vacuum the entire game before bedtime. You can just do a little bit and leave the rest for another day. The activity itself doesn't matter. What matters is that the whole session didn't come from a list, and the goal is simply to close the game on a note that you chose yourself. It's supposed to be a small thing. That's kind of the point. I think it makes a real difference when you log out knowing that you played because you wanted to, not only because the game gave you a list to do, but because at least one part of the session came from your own choices. Every session doesn't have to be amazing though. Sometimes the dailies are all we have time for, but when we do have time, one small choice of our own can keep the routine from becoming the whole game, and I think that does wonders in gacha games. So what do we actually do with this? Basically just keep one question in mind when you log out the next time. Did I actually do something I enjoyed today, or did I just manage my account? If the answer is the second one, that's fine. The point is just to notice the difference and ask one more question. When am I actually going to play the part of the game that I like? Because maybe today was only a quick clear of the dailies, that's fine, but this weekend I'm gonna have time to sit down and enjoy the story. That's enough. And here's the thing, if enough people subscribe, we might actually have to start this gacha fortune cookie cult after all. So do hit subscribe so you don't miss the next cult meeting. I mean the next problem we're fixing. Jokes aside, if you have your own example of small gacha problems, big gacha problems, tell me in the comments and I'll answer as many as I can, or I'll make a whole video about it. But with that, I'll see you in the next video or in the comment sections. Belly out!